G'day and welcome. Here's another in the character guide series. So now we're going to cover Mr. Hercule, the Giant, everyone's beloved superhuman. So as per usual, we're going to cover just the general stuff. So his general stats, skills, blast attacks, unique properties, key blasts, rush combos, buttons, strengths, weaknesses, other similar characters to play, and then my final thoughts. So let's get stuck into it. So firstly, he is by far the cheapest character in the game, but only 1 DP, so you can literally fit him onto any team unless you've literally maxed out your DP costs. And if you want to be a complete mad person, you could always run him solo, but I would definitely not recommend that. So his has 3 health bars, is pretty not so great. There's literally the lowest defense in the games, which is about 20 to 30% extra damage compared to other regular characters. The lowest damage stat in the game. On top of, well, I guess I'll just show you here. You cannot stagger outside it, even with some heavy, so you need to get like a full on like 2-3 hits just to stagger even the weakest of characters, so it's a bit of a problem. He charges ki really fast, which is great, at only 3 seconds. It also looks really cool. He also cannot follow up after a smash attack. It doesn't matter if he's in spiking mode or not, he needs to use a blast attack to capitalize on this damage. And also he doesn't get a heavy follow-up after a granted throw, but he can use blast attack, so he could do this into, say, a bomb or whatever. As you can see, they also cover quite fast and no transformations. And his perception is a key blast cannon. So let's cover his skills. He's got 2 pretty decent ones. I mean, most players would be familiar with False Courage, so instantly activates, boosts defense by 10% for 15 seconds, and also makes it so that you can absorb regular key blasts and smash key blasts. And there is an upper limit of just general strength, so for example, if a, say, 7 DP character starts using key blasts or like physical attacks, they can still break through. And yes, pretty standard stuff. And if you want to break them normally, you use the dash, charge attack or heavy attack. And then he's got his skill 2, which is a really strong buff skill.
I am the Mr. Satan.
So as you can see there, he gets a ton of different buffs, so that buffs pretty much all his stats. So his melee attacks, defense, key recovery, blast attacks and key blasts all become 10% strong for 15 seconds. And also because he has such high starting skill points, starting with 3, which is really unusually high, even for like a character like this, means he can basically save that and just pop either his skills at the start of the round, which is good for keeping him alive. You want to be using him to maximize, his cheap costs, and also the fact that, again, he's so cheap means he also has a very fast swap out time. I believe it's about 4 or 5 seconds, so you can, just block for a little bit or move around and then just swap him out and buy some time for your other characters. So not bad at all. So anyways, we're going to move on next to his blast attacks. One night. Let's have a look, see if we get lucky. Oh, we got it, nice. I'm not sure of the exact chance, but the chance is pretty low, be probably 50% or under of landing. And as you can see, that doesn't do very much damage even to a character like Fidel, whose defense is also not very good. So it deals about 4.3k damage on average. Pretty much what you want to be doing is you want to be going for the unblockable. Again, because he charges so fast, go for his blast too. So this is a guardable and it's got decent tracking, and also he just looks very funny. This deals about 3.8k damage. It's a little bit easier to react to since one of the more recent patches, but it's still not the worst option in the world, especially if, say, if your opponent is trying to perception or just do stuff from mid-screen and you're like, you know what, I'm just going to run in and give him a present. It's Christmas time, so yeah, that's pretty cool. But I think really the standout attack, especially considering how cheap he is, I know I keep saying it, but he really is, bargain value character, is his ultimate blast attack, which is guidable, reasonably quick, and actually does pretty good damage. So again, it does, defense is pretty crap, but on average deals about 9.3k, or if you use the skill 2 buff, does about 13,000 damage. Which, again, it's actually pretty solid. So you have high starting key, you pop this, and then you just go straight into sparking and hit him with the ultimate, and boom, there goes one of their life bars. So But having said that, he's a bit of an odd dude, so let's go over some of the unique properties which make him truly the champ. So he's unable to do follow-ups after a heavy attack. He needs to instead use blast attacks and or dragon dash. And also cannot use super perception against revenge counters. Rest in peace, Videl and Hercule. They're the only ones who can't do that, at least as of writing this video, unless some future DLC is equally blessed with the power of Ki, I suppose. Yeah, and as you saw before, so he's the only character in the game who literally cannot naturally stagger. Like, even if I'm popping sparking mode, I'm pretty sure he still can't stagger. Actually, no, he can actually. Never mind. So he can stagger sometimes in sparking mode, I believe. Whereas average characters will still not be staggered even in sparking. So it seems he really want to encourage you to use that. And yeah, that's basically it. So he's the kind of character you just want to kind of stall and hang back and throw in the occasional like grab with the present bomb, or you know, just kind of wait out your opponent and stall. That's basically what he's designed to do. But as much as I don't want to do this, I should probably move on to his Ki blasts. And boy, they're not great. So that's his basic Ki blast. So as you can see, it's not very spammable at all. I can't look like a barrage or anything. Kind of reminds me a lot of Yajirobe actually. Also has a limited range. So eventually, as you can see there, you can charge it to throw a bit further, which I guess is good. But actually, there's a throwing grenade. Way to get this from him. Does very little damage. And dash out is actually alright if you do dash into Ki blast. But yeah, he's not really designed to like play any kind of like mid to long range game. You really want to be up close, or just, you know, running away from a distance, as is Hercule's kind of style, you know, hiding behind rocks and things. But yeah, that's basically his Ki blast in a nutshell. Let's have a look at his follow-up. So he has a couple. So he's got heavy finishes on his first attack, Ki blast cannon on the second, another heavy finishes on the third, and then another heavy finishes on the fourth. So yeah, his moveset is abysmal. I can't think of many who would have something worse than that. But at the very least, he has heavy finishes on his dash. So it does something if it's fully charged, and that's basically it. Unless you're in sparking, I suppose. So, which I guess that's something also somewhat unique to Hercule, is that because his Ki isn't really a thing, it means that when he pops sparking, it doesn't have any pushback. So just keep that in mind. So it means that your opponent can punish you if you are about to enter sparking mode, yeah, by hitting you with like a sometimes blast attack, whereas most other characters has like a small window where, you know, the Ki will kind of blast outward and it destroys like blast attacks and things. So something to keep in mind. Alright, let's have a look at his strengths and weaknesses, just to kind of break things down a bit more. So, like I've said many times before, it's the cheapest character in the game with only 1 DP, so very easy to slot into anything you really need it to do. Incredible swap speed, that's about all you really need to know for starters. His present bomb is unblockable, which is kind of cool, but it's pretty easy to dodge it, so it's a bit of a mixed blessing, I suppose you can say. Extremely fast Ki charge time, which means that he's basically never going to be losing Vanish moves, which is, I guess, not too bad. He has the highest starting Ki and skill points together, which again is a really, you know, situationally good, especially if you just want to tag him in and just, you know, waste some time. And has two decent buff skills. One which buff stats and the other being good on Force Courage. Oh, but now he has his myriad of weaknesses, so he's one of the few characters he couldn't naturally follow up. He used to use like a Dragon Dash or a Blast Attack, or in most cases just a Blast Attack. Just like poor old Videl. Can't use Super Perception against revenge counters again like Videl. A lot of stats in the game, and also damage is absolutely visible. He needs Blast Attacks to really do any meaningful damage. And he doesn't have any combos either, so like, I remember I took him at the training mode to try and even find something sparking. He doesn't really have anything, so definitely not a combo heavy character. I don't know how you could consistently win matches with this guy at all.
Come on, Dad, you've been slacking too much on your training.
Yeah, you said it, Videl. Speaking of, actually, so I've harped on enough about, you know, Hercule's weaknesses and stuff, but what if, you know, another character who, a bit of a challenge but at least has some upside? I'd say go with Vidal. She only costs 2 DP, has the same amount of health, slightly better defense and damage and things, can use Key Blasts, and has some really cheap blast attacks and after image strike and that kind of thing. And yeah, she was a bit of a menace in DP rank for a while. She probably still is at this point, to be honest, but overall I think she's like a good just value pick, and if you have the slots to spare, I'd recommend checking her out if you're interested in the kind of playstyle similar to Hercule, but actually, again, you know, be able to actually play the game in a meaningful manner. So here are my final thoughts. He is the giant and the easiest to fit onto a team thanks to his ridiculously low cost. I wish he was just more of a lethal joke character, like it just, you put all the eggs in one basket, and you know, I know he's supposed to be a meme and not really supposed to do anything useful, but it would be nice if he's had some type of practical usage other than just wasting time, I suppose. I suppose if you're really desperate, you can try and hit them with unblockables and try to, you know, reaction check them, and you know, maybe if you have not the greatest connection, you can hit them from time to time, but it's not really going to do anything long term, whether it's in single or DP battles. Spiking mode being a requirement just for like a basic combo is a bit of a cop out, and I think it's not. Well, I mean, it's obviously it's a joke, but it just feels pretty bad. So it really makes me want to refrain from using him regularly, which is a shame because he's a pretty funny character. So I'd say use him if you want a hard challenge or just a really glutton for punishment, really. Otherwise, you can just pick Vidal. Like she's solid and she's cheap and she has some decent upsides. So I'm hoping any of that was useful to you. Hopefully you can see some more people running the champ for those final slots in your teams, especially in like DP battles and things like that. I hope you found this video useful. Have a great day, be blessed, and I will see you all soon.